freaking people's livelihoods. Also payroll checks. Also Momentum 3.0.
Oh, yay, David.
I'm loyal to the product, to Osma, to the trim, spoon, promised land.
Burn, David.
Sorry if my eyes are all puffy. We taste tested it for months upon months. You get in the conference room, try this flavor. And we'd all like blindfold and like pick our favorites.
Nom nom for us, David.
Trim was a massive hit. All the spoon posts, everybody's social media, everyone, all the leaders. I'm loyal. I'm product loyal. Product loyal. There is only one freaking collagen in the world. In fact, I didn't even have to pray. I instinctively felt inspired to do what I did. We were in Momentum 3.0. This is my worst nightmare.
Oh my God. Ew, David. Ew, David. Ew, David. David.
I'm loyal to the product, to Osma, to the trim, spoon, promised land.
Burn, David.
Why didn't you disclose this? People saying, why is Dave Ciemny doing this? Just no more than you would know that an earthquake is coming. They want to hate and they want to be mad at me personally for a freaking billionaire that had a bad day.
Oh my God. Ew, David. Ew, David. Ew, David. David.
Oh man, what did y'all think? Shout out to DC. DC surprised me and made that for me. It was really nice of her to do that. So make sure you go subscribe to her channel. Thank you, DC, for that. That was awesome. I didn't click the button fast enough in between that and my disclaimer. So you probably saw me laughing, but I thought it was hilarious. Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to a live stream that honestly feels like a grief documentary, but sponsored by an MLM. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out. And now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. If you have not already, like the stream, make sure you're subscribed, and follow me on social media. You can find all that information on erinbees.com. Ew, David. We're going to be using that a lot. Oh, man. That was so good, DC. Thank you so much. All right. So we have some things to talk about. David here. I think you say his name, Ciemny. I'm not really sure. He's a former Modere leader that claims he was blindsided when the company shut down. But within hours, he had already pivoted to Amari, built a new team, and was already dropping his referral code. So let's break down the contradictions, the manipulation tactics, the timeline, the receipts, and quite frankly, some of the biggest red flags that I have ever seen in quite some time. I will tell you, DC was also kind enough to cut out all the filler words and all of the pauses. So if you see any kind of jumping around, those are the things that have been removed. And again, thank you, DC. I appreciate you so much. All right. Before we do that, y'all already know what time it is. We're going to do this. If you don't like ASMR, turn your volume down. If you're a member, you should have a bubbles emote because you know what's coming. All right, let's go. Short but crispy. I did not spill it on myself this time. Thank goodness. Do not take a shot every time. Do not take a shot every time he name drops a celebrity. No, don't do it. This is one of those very rare videos that the members the other day, yesterday, when we were watching this and I was preparing and all of that stuff, they actually wanted to watch this, the whole thing. And then they said, we'll watch it again tomorrow. It's probably one of the only times that has happened. So here we are, and it's going to be a wild time. I don't think I've seen somebody this unhinged in quite some time. So anyways, let's get to it. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for being here. And let's see what David has to say.
Hello. Good morning, Facebook. What a wonderful beautiful day it is. I'm here in Provo, Utah, of all places. I was just here 6 days ago. Actually, yeah. 1 week ago, I flew into Modere corporate office in Provo at Zion's Bank Building on the 6th floor and met the CFO and met with Nate, the CEO. And I was literally just here. Deja vu. And here I am now in my good friend Patty Miner's backyard. She graciously took me in as her little orphan. And quite frankly, it's been a whirlwind since Friday afternoon. I was on the way to my son's first choir concert at his school, and I got a text from a good friend, a business partner, and said, this can't be true. And, you know, whenever you get the news, have you ever gotten the news that like a relative died, someone you love and care about died, someone is sick, someone has cancer, that's it, a best friend from high school passed away, whatever it is, that kind of news that you get never prepares you. A breakup, let's say you get a text from someone you've been you know, in love with or something, and you get a breakup, nothing will prepare you for the emotional, visceral emotion of losing everything. When I got the text, I was 1 day away from a $40,000 paycheck, which obviously that's part of my income. I mean, my wife and I have done really well with Modere, but I was literally, guys, 1 day away, and not just my paycheck, every single person, every corporate employee, everybody. So the first thing I did when I got the text, I was at my son's school, is I called my elite rep, Peter. Love you, Peter. And Peter was like, it's true, everyone at corporate just got this email 30 minutes ago. So it turns out what happened is the CEO, Nate, went in. He had no clue. Nobody had any clue. And he found out that morning, and he had 3 hours to basically let everybody go and shut down everything. He did not know. Anybody that thinks that anyone knew this was coming doesn't know what they're talking about.
Oh my God. This feels like the death of a business grief tour. That's what this feels like to me. I don't know about you guys, but imagine comparing an MLM closing to the death of a loved one. That's crazy to me. Dave compares losing Modere to someone dying, to a cancer diagnosis. What? And to a breakup. And I feel like he's setting the tone to be dramatic, you know, using gut punch type language to pull empathy and try to get people's attention and to keep his audience from questioning what's coming next. I think it's absolutely foul. I want to point out the first manipulation tactic, emotional hijacking, and also the first contradiction. There's going to be many. We're going to keep track. This is number 1. He says it felt like losing everything, but also says we're good and we're already moving forward 5 minutes later. We'll get to that here in a second. Unreal.
There's so many haters since, man, leave it to losing your company after 15 years for the vultures to attack, for the haters to come out, for people you...
Wait a second. You were with Modere for 15 years? So you were in Modere before Justin Prince was in Modere? I don't think that timeline checks out, Dave. What are you talking about? That's interesting.
Thought were friends, to block you, to unfriend you, to treat you like absolute crap. You know, I'm thinking of a friend in particular who had invested, you know, some money into the business, and like I'm thinking, anyway, I'm not going to go into it. It's just absolutely horrible. I feel absolutely gutted and so sad for everybody. I have total empathy and compassion for everybody. I'm sad. I feel like I lost my entire soul. I was connected to liquid biocell and trim in a way that you can't understand. It's changed our lives, millions and millions and millions of dollars in commissions, and a lifestyle that I could never trade. We've created, you know, hundreds of 6-figure earners. There are thousands of people making, you know, comma checks all across the board. This is 15 years, guys. But I wanted to come here and clear the air because there's been some nastiness going out on social media. There's also been opportunists. I get it. People innocently want to think you have a new home. And then there's been a lot of people talking about me, including some of the top leaders of Modere, which I thought were all friends. I'll tell you what, here's what I understand. When your entire livelihood is at stake, nothing else matters, and people change when it comes down to money. And I get that. I don't hold any judgment, any fault of anybody for any reaction they've had, because how do you react to something? How do you react when like a piece of your heart is ripped out and your entire business falls out from under you. So here's what I'm going to say. When I got that email, when I got the text,
a comma check just basically means $1,000 or more. So instead of like 800, 900, it's a big thing in MLM when you get a check with a comma. So that's what he's referring to.
and then I called Peter, my elite rep, and he's like, yeah, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry too. I don't know what to do. My heart sank. My very next call was to Osma, right? Who's Osma? Osma was, I was the vice president of the first company. I was the third employee of her first company in 2009. I was on the corporate team. I had just come from, over 2 years on the road with Lady Gaga. I was her tour manager. I had worked at Herbalife corporate prior to that. That's my direct sales. I got to be mentored by Jim Rohn, and I was at Herbalife at a time when they went from less than $1 billion to over $3 billion. I got to travel around the world with the top chairman's club, helped putting on events, and again, mentored by Jim Rohn. So I had an incredible time at Herbalife. That was always on my resume. I owned an event production company. But apart from that, I was always in the music business. I've tour managed, Lauryn Hill, Lady Gaga. I've worked with Rihanna. I've worked with mega stars. And I've had a great living, but I was always making somebody else wealthy. I was always making somebody else famous, right?
His movements with his watch are so awkward to me. I don't understand it. I don't know what we're doing here. We have a lot to unpack. So this, I feel like, was the fastest pivot in MLM history. He says he didn't know Modere was shutting down, but 5 minutes later, he's on the phone with his elite rep. And by 2 p.m. that day, he had a full Zoom call running with 60 plus people. So David, which is it? Were you shocked or were you ready to onboard people by lunch? And here's where it gets really interesting. Modere allegedly notified the field at 3 p.m. Eastern time on April 11th. David posted his Amare referral link publicly at 4:28 p.m. I believe he was in Pacific. He was in the Pacific time zone, which would be 1:38. So 38 minutes later, I just have questions. It doesn't make any sense to me. Process your grief. Pick a new MLM. Rebuild your team. Go public with a contingency plan. Sorry, but that doesn't scream shocked to me. That screams preloaded, pre-planned, captions in the notes app. Let's go. That's what it feels like to me. And the second contradiction, he claims devastation, but executed a polished public pivot, within 90 minutes of the collapse. And he's on here talking about opportunists. David, do you know what I'm saying? I have questions. Things don't make sense. And yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think?
It was never about Dave Ciemny. It was just about, I'm the guy behind the scenes. And ultimately, guys, I had to make a decision when I went to Jusuru, the original company with Osma, the founder. When I went to her, she had the liquid biocell technology. Okay. At a time, there was, remember Mona V and what I call the juice wars. My ORAC's bigger than yours. And ultimately, guys, she had 7 patents, 37 clinicals, and I knew it was going to be big. At the time, they were just doing, I don't know, not a huge amount of volume, let's just say. And she made me her vice president. I was honored to get the job. I took a sacrifice. I took a cut in pay to believe in something bigger. I took a risk. I commuted an hour and a half down to Anaheim to a little manufacturing, center. And it was tough. Sorry if my eyes are all puffy and stuff. It's been a wild emotional ride, you guys, for so many people that have lost their incomes. But there's a flip side to it, because I do believe that when God, closes a door, he opens a window, and the window's already open, and we've put about 500 people into the window already. But we're good. But I want to clear the air about Modere. So, when I started with Osma and we grew Jusuru into.
He is not sped up. David, he is not sped up at all. The pauses are taken out. The filler words are taken out. This was hit. Yeah, this is wild. It's wild watching it a second time around.
to, tens of millions of dollars in sales with the incredible people we partnered with since 2009. On the corporate side, it was an amazing journey for me. Being the vice president of the company, I was honored. I took it to heart. I owned it. I worked on weekends. I traveled. I hit the road. I worked just as hard as anybody would work building a business in the direct sales industry. The difference was we didn't pay leaders to come on. It was not an MLM situation where, we need a product. Let me see. We're all big famous people. We're big leaders. Let's go make a product.
John Melton, I think he's talking to you. I'm pretty sure he's talking to you, John. And Margie and the Zaleckis and Rick and Michelle Teague and Brian McMullen. Who am I missing? I'm missing Tim Houston. That's who I was missing. I'm pretty sure. Look at this pause story, sir. Are you okay?
Nah, we were product freaking first. Build it and they will come. Liquid biocell, 7 patents, 37 clinicals, except no substitutions. At the time, nobody even knew what collagen was. They were flying our CEO, Osma, over to Switzerland to figure out how are you taking liquid ingestible collagen to the world. And meanwhile, Nestle and those products were sitting in Walgreens on the shelf collecting dust because nobody knew what liquid collagen was. It begged for a person to person business model. And this was before social media, was even big. Remember our first Facebook post in 2009? It was I am driving, David is going to the supermarket. You're like, oh my gosh.
That's what this live feels like to me. Yeah.
Painful when you look at those posts. And guys, we took Liquid Biocell to the world. We freaking built an amazing business from 2009 to 2000, and we went to Canada from 2009 to 2016 when I left corporate, when the acquisition with Modere came down. We had an incredible ride with some incredible people, most of whom are still here, by the way. Most of whom are still here.
Still where? Modere closed. What are you talking about? Are you talking about now they're in Amari with you? Because that's the company that he went to. FYI, in case I haven't mentioned that. He mentions it 4 times, his link 4 times. Are we going to play it here? No, DC took that out too. Thank goodness. Oh my God. This is so wild.
There's a lot. I see some people on here that were with us back in the day and they moved on, but the core group of us leaders, the leaders we had in the field from our former company to Modere stayed. In fact, I'm at one of their houses right now. So here's what I'll tell you. In 2016, I had the opportunity to go from corporate to the field, and it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And that's what I did. I sat down with Osma, the CEO, and I said, hey, what if I become a marketer? And at the time, Facebook marketing was just taking hold, and there were some incredible people coming into Modere. I just want to be very clear about Modere. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Because this is the God's honest truth. What you're going to hear from me right now. Anyone else says anything else that is contradictory to this is not telling the truth. I'm just going to be very clear here about Modere. Prior to Liquid Biocell and Trim, which we were formulating before we ever were at Biocell, I sat in the conference room at Jusuru in a former Korean church on the 2nd floor, tasting every iteration and flavor of Trim that Osma could come up with. And we taste tested it for months upon months. And every time, hey, everybody get in the conference room, try this flavor. And we'd have 15 different spoons of Trim. And it'd be like, ooh, that's great. And we'd all blindfold and pick our favorites. And Trim came together. Trim
is not good. It gives me that feeling. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gross. It's like a thick pudding. I'm just gonna play the video.
It was a massive hit. All the spoon posts, everybody's social media, all the viral from 2020 to 2021 to 2022, the tens of millions, the billions that we sold, everybody's social media, all the leaders, everybody that's now starting their own company and doing all this stuff. Everything happened because of Liquid Biocell. God's honest truth. Anybody that tells you anything different is lying. They're going to tell you, oh, I did that, and it's my systems and my training and my following, and I'm the best network marketer on literal planet Earth. Nothing could have happened without, obviously, social retail. Of course, I'm going to give credit to the pioneers like Bob Goshen, who came up with social retail and did that. I'll give credit where credit's due. Back in 2012, that was revolutionary. That led to why we even would go to Modere with Jusuru, our former collagen company. So when Z Capital purchased our company, our college.
This is so wild. Oh man, his energy. This is not a compliment, David. Just FYI, his energy is over the top. He seems like he's salty, which your company just closed. The company that you were a distributor in just closed. Of course, you're going to have feelings about it. But no, I mean, he took 2.5 seconds and was onboarding people on a Zoom, posting his link, God, on social media within the hour, it seems like. What time did he post this? Let's look at this. Hold on. April 11th at 4:28 p.m. Our team is going to Amari. I forgot to blur that. I'm not going to show his link, but 4:28 p.m. on April 11th. But yeah, tell us again how you were, mourning.
In 2016, I went from the vice president of the company to a social marketer with Modere, not under a team or any of that. No.
Let's talk about this, David. Because I have questions. What do you mean you weren't under a team? Oh, right. Did you get a special deal when you came over from Jusuru to Modere in the buyout? Did you get a special deal where you were placed at the top of a team that had existed for decades? Huh? But tell us again how you were so successful being at the top, allegedly, of a team that's been around for decades. That's interesting.
Nobody was I was not on anybody's team, and I say that not to brag, but it's people like to take credit for other people's success. And here's what.
Well, if that's not calling the pot or the kettle or however that saying goes black, I don't know what is. Allegedly, of course. David, did you get a deal when you joined the field again, coming from Jusuru to Modere, to be placed at the very top of an organization that had been around for decades? Huh? We all just want to know. Because I feel like you're not telling the whole story.
I'll tell you. Liquid biocell is the reason why anyone at Modere was propelled to making 100K, 200K, 500K a month, everything. Those two products, okay? Before Modere had liquid biocell, they were selling protein mix. My buddy Sean called me up, tried to recruit me into Modere when he knew I was doing something different. And I'm like, Sean, he's trying to sell me a $500 pack. And I'm like, Sean, what do you got? And he's like, well, he couldn't tell me. He's like, it's the M3 system, and it's like a protein powder with the shake thing. And there's a...
I don't know if you guys do. When I was in Modere, I was in Justin Prince's downline. I don't remember exactly how it was set up. I know Justin Prince was somewhere in there. I know John Melton was above Jesse Lee, and I had signed with Jesse Lee in Modere. And I forgot what I was going to say. Let me play the video. I'll get my thoughts together. Hold on.
Mediterranean and like this tablet. I'm like, bro, there's nothing unique here. Modere.
There was nothing unique there. That was the M3 system. This is what I was going to say. I remember a time when Justin Prince was talking about one of the products, which was a pea protein shake. Run of the mill. You can find that anywhere. And he was like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Just mix it up with lukewarm water and you're good. Have y'all ever tried mixing up a protein shake in lukewarm water? I don't suggest anybody does that. Oh, and I was trying, when I was doing the this live stream with members yesterday, I was trying to remember the 3 products that were included in that M3 system. I know it was Burn, which was a thermogenic, and then they had the pea protein shake, but I couldn't remember the third product. Do any of you remember? It sounds incredibly gag-worthy, and you nailed it. It was. Don't do that. I don't suggest that. He's now with Amari. Sorry. Did I miss a member? I'm so sorry. How do you say this? Calican's Ribbit. Did I say that correctly? I'm not sure if I did. Please let me know. And this is for you. Welcome. It's a vibe. Thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate that so much. And make sure you check the post tab for the link to the Discord. Oh, I said it right. That's awesome.
Was selling great products, but no hero products. Let me be very clear. There's a reason why Modere exploded. And everyone who knows that's honest will tell you it's because of Liquid BioCell. We sold millions upon millions upon millions. We were selling 1 million bottles a month of Liquid BioCell. Okay? So don't let all those network marketing hype people tell you that it's because they were so great. Were they incredible? Did we have the best leaders in the world? Yes. Do we have the most talented marketers and social media and mentors and coaches? Yes, we were blessed to have. I remember the network marketing professionals convention. There were 100 people speaking and 20 of them were from Modere. 1 out of 5, 20%. Guys, we had the best leaders in the world, but do not mistake the best product line for all the success that had. Okay. So I got that off my chest.
I hope you feel better.
Now let me clear up the other thing about Modere. When I was there, we moved fast. We built a big team, and I started from scratch.
Did you though? What do you mean you started from scratch? Because again, see my notes from just a few minutes ago on the question that I have if you were placed at the top of a team that had been around for decades. Because if I remember correctly, it really ruffled a lot of feathers, allegedly. You know what I mean? I don't know. This is how I feel.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I just have questions. You had to start from scratch, huh? No special deal coming over from Jasur. Are you sure about that? You sure about that?
And we moved into a place where we knew that we had something special. Social media, sticky volume, all the incredible products driven by Liquid BioCell. And we attracted everyone in the world. I sat in boardrooms. I had people tell me for years they were trying to be Modere. They were trying to be social retail. They were trying to copy. Remember the collagen explosion after we hit the scene? Everyone and their mother got collagen. It was so funny because all these people with their fish juice and their freaking cowhides and their ineffective crap collagen that comes from Brazil, where I went last year to Sao Paulo, where they're cutting down rainforests. I went to the Worldwide Collagen Convention. The Worldwide Collagen Summit is what it's called. And I bet you didn't even know that existed. And I was there. In fact, I have a picture of my driver welcoming me to the summit. Okay. And I was there and I learned that the bovine collagen industry is single-handedly destroying the rainforest in Amazon. And yet they sell it for cheap from Brazilian cows because they're clearing the rainforest to have pasture land for all the cows and the cow hides and the cow tongues and the freaking hooves and all that stuff that they're putting in their crappy, cheap ass collagen that they sell at Costco or wherever else, guys. And all your MLM products, all these collagen products are overpriced and they're crap. We have the only liquid exclusive collagen HA matrix from an.
Okay, now Liquid BioCell is the only liquid. However, there is an alternative because it's Osma's family that makes BioCell. And there's a capsule or capsules on Amazon that is $29. That is the same ingredients as Liquid BioCell minus all the juice that make it a liquid. So, okay, you have the only liquid, but it's not the only option for collagen if people really want this collagen. And it's Osma's brother that allegedly sells that on Amazon. So relax. Take a breath. Touch some grass. Okay.
Exclusive source. And it's not from pig's hooves and porcine. It's not bovine sourced.
No, it's chicken cartilage.
And it's not from fish juice. And if you want to challenge me any day with your crap collagen, you think fish scales is bio-identical to humans? maybe for omega-3s, but not the radiation and microplastics in the ocean. Nah, don't come at me with your cheap ass collagen. There is only one freaking collagen in the world, and that's liquid biocell. Now, let me take you to the next subject. I want to clear the air.
David, are you okay?
You, David.
Are you okay? Wow. I just find it interesting that he's talking and mentioned earlier about his soul being tied to liquid biocell and that he's product loyal. I have so many questions, you guys. I'm sure you do too. First, if you are making millions and millions, then why hasn't your name been on the leaderboard? I mean, I looked at the most recent one, which would have been April 7th. Your name's not on it. I don't remember seeing your name on the leaderboards when I would check periodically and would see John and Nadia Melton's name multiple times on that leaderboard with the multiple positions. By the way, did you have multiple positions in the company? Did your wife have a distributor position, a social marketer position as well? I'm curious. I also want to know if you got a special deal coming over from Jusuru, but I already asked that a few times. So let's also not pretend that this was some random collapse, because I know earlier he was talking about, we didn't know it was coming. They all say that. Modere's sales have been declining since at least 2021. There were heavy promos, top leaders quietly exiting, and yes, Osma left months ago. This wasn't an earthquake, but it was erosion. You didn't just miss the signs, you ignored them. So that's wild. Contradiction number 3, I forgot to mention this, was he says he was caught off guard, yet admits to years of sales decline and leadership instability and things of that nature. I find that really fascinating. So let's see what else he has to say.
About, okay? Man, I'm on one right now. I've been meaning to come live, but we've been putting so many people into our new company that I literally haven't. I've slept maybe, I don't know, 8 hours in the last 4 days. Like, seriously. The anxiety is gone now because it's Monday. It's a beautiful week. And all these people are coming to our company to follow Liquid Biocell. Well, let me just start. When we got the email, everybody said, wow, David moved fast.
Right.
He must have known this was coming. So let me give you a little bit of backstory, and I promise I'm going to try to be quick here because I don't expect anyone to sit on my live for an hour. So let me move.
No, instead it was 42 minutes.
Move fast. Some of you know that in 2023, our sales declined. I mean, the price of eggs doubled. Inflation hit. Like, our products are premium, with Modere. They've been a premium. And sales went down. That's normal business. Our corporate staff had ballooned. Our CEO had 2 assistants. I mean, we had hundreds of people in our corporate office. And so we had a lot of people. So guess what? Their cash flow didn't match up for a few months, and they over leveraged. The venture capital company, the Z Capital, had pulled money out of the business, and probably, I think it was like 180 million, I believe, that they pulled out of the business because they had been doing so well. They thought it would never go back down. Guys, here's what anybody knows is businesses go up and down. And what you do as a former corporate guy, what I know that you do is you trim up the expenses. If you have 60 people in your call center and one person takes 1 call an hour, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know you got to cut out that stuff. So we righted the ship, but one of the top leaders, I'm not even going to dignify this dude, this cult leader, by saying his name. I'm not even going to do it.
Let's say his name. Who do you think he's going to talk about? Type it in the comments. Who do you think he's going to talk about? I feel like we should have a fun little sound effect. What do we want to do? Oh, in the comments. Who do you think he's going to talk about? Okay, let me know. Oh, Justin Prince. John Melton. Co-leader. Yep. All right, let's see.
Really great.
I know the answer to this because it's my second time watching it, but
great guy. We thought he was the one. We thought he was the guy that
the one. What's Justin's book called? Be the One? Yeah.
Would lead us to the promised land. And man, that guy really screwed us over. He like got some information from corporate that like Modere was going to close, and he got all these leaders on a Zoom and like, guys, we're going to plan our next thing. And he thought everyone would follow him from Modere, and like a few people followed him. And it was like, really, you're going to undermine my business? Then he mentions me in a lawsuit and all this stuff. I'm just like, bro, dude, you are really some kind of human. Nobody knows. Maybe one day I'll go live. But
oh, it's my headphones. Hang on one second. Why did they disconnect? What? Hello?
I'm not gonna bash any.
You guys can still hear him, right? Oh wow. That's a look. I forgot to get the lawsuit paperwork. What is happening?
Buddy, I'm just gonna say.
Okay, you can hear him, but I cannot. All right, let's set those down for a minute. Okay.
That like most people don't know the real truth.
Julie.
Do some digging before you just blindly follow somebody. That's all I'll say about that. But what this is what I'm going to say is basically that when he started a little chain reaction of doubt, he sowed seeds of doubt. So instead of being the lighthouse, he was the weather vane. He blew with the tides. He's like, Modere's going to be out of business by December. And everybody calls me up and they're like, David, like, is this true? All the top leaders called me. They'll never probably admit to it, but we were all close friends. And I'm not going to, no, I'm throwing no one under the bus right now, by the way. I love all the top leaders at Modere. I consider them all friends.
I don't know what's going on with technology, but my mouse was not working. My headphones started to like freak out. I don't understand what was going on. Yeah. So I'm glad I can pause it here.
It's been a little interesting watching their reaction when I came out of the gate swinging with a brand new company, because they didn't know, because they're not necessarily product people.
But I thought, what do you mean? I thought you said a few minutes ago that you thought you guys were all friends, but you were making these moves and your friends didn't know you were making the moves. How does that work? Okay, sound is working. Let's try it. I just don't understand how. Are you upset that people didn't follow you into Amari? Are you upset that these leaders decided to do something else, go to other companies? Because it sounds like you're kind of upset that they didn't come with you, that you're taking hits for moving so quickly. I don't know. What do y'all think?
If they were, they would follow Liquid Biocell. If they were, they would follow Trim and everything that's made us our living for the last 8 years. And it's okay. It's a free country. I'm not mad. I'm not bitter. We've got so many people from all teams joining our business. But
you sound real bitter, David. You sound real little bitter. Sound a little upset.
Here's what happened with Modere. This is a crazy story. So when I got on the call, so when I got the email from those of you that are jumping on, you'll have to rewatch this. But when I got the email that Modere shut down, I called my elite rep. The next call I made was to Osma, and I said, Osma, she's like my sister for 15 years. I've been with her through thick and thin. I've been with her at the worst times and at the best times. I've seen her at her best. I've seen her at her worst, and vice versa. We were born like 1 month apart. She likes to joke that she's younger than me, so that's true. But she's my sister from another mister.
That's interesting, because when Osma was allegedly fired from Modere, how come you didn't follow her then? If you were so loyal to her, how come you stuck around in Modere for as long as you did until they closed, and then you joined? I just find that interesting. I don't know.
I love Osma. She knows that too. We are tight. And we've ridden through every storm together. And I'm going to tell you right now that the first call I made, listen, from about the time I got the text from Barbara Grishka on our team, our Polish team, from the second I got that text at 1:15, it wasn't 5 minutes before I called my elite rep, and then I had Osma on the phone. 5 minutes, guys. I said, Osma, did you hear the news? She's like, I'm all over it. We're getting Liquid Biocell. Let's freaking go. Our conversation was 30 seconds. I said, okay. She goes, call Todd Bagley, get set up with an account. Let's get going. And ultimately, Osma has no desire or intention. Let me just be very clear to ever recruit. She's never ever tried to recruit anybody. She's the CEO of the company. Okay. She's corporate. She doesn't recruit. She doesn't attempt to, her job is to grow.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to say that she recruited you? Are you trying to say that because you want people to think you're that special? I don't understand. What's happening?
The company, right? And if someone calls her, right, her job is to support them in whatever they want to do. It's not her to make a decision of where they go or how they sign up or any of that. That is not Osma's role. Her job is to support all of us, make incredible products, pay us on time, run the company, run all the corporate team, do all the hires, do everything that she does.
Okay.
It just so happens that with my 15 years of working on corporate with her, that's a personal relationship that I've had. So of course I called her. And so when she said, hey, we're getting BioCell, that's all I needed to know. And the news has come out. And the second, within 5 minutes, guys, I ran home. I got our team on a Zoom. By 2 p.m., we had like 60 people, and then it kept growing and growing on a Zoom. And
so if he's in Pacific time zone and he posted that saying that they're going to Amare at 1:38, I don't think those are moves that you just make. What I'm trying to say is I feel like that was planned. I feel like there's been a plan B, just like I've said with many of the other Modere leaders. I feel like they've been watching checks fall. They've been watching people leave. They've been watching revenue decline since 2021. They've seen all of this. The writing was on the wall. They were just hanging on until their check ran out. Well, Modere closed. So now, we're just going to go here because I feel like this was a plan B. Because if he was so loyal to Osma, why didn't he go with her when she was terminated, allegedly, from Modere? He stuck around in Modere because he was getting a paycheck. That's just my theory. You guys let me know what you think.
said, guys, the worst has happened. Now, some of you are saying, well, if you knew this would happen, I've gotten so many arrows, so many daggers.
Guys, we need to fix that, please. If you would, like the stream. Thank you.
Unfriended, blocked, talked crap about, oh, you must have known this. Why didn't you disclose this? Okay. You think I was planning on losing a $40,000 paycheck, you guys? You think that I had even 1% chance thinking this would all end? Guys, do you drive without car insurance?
Oh, not the fallacies. Not a false equivalence fallacy. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I do have to update the pink. I'm going to use the Caracolor conditioner. I'm going to do the soft pink. So next week, the hair will be a little bit pinker.
Do you expect a hurricane's going to happen? No. Do you expect a freaking earthquake's going to happen? No.
Are you comparing a multi-level marketing company closing to a natural disaster? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised because at the beginning of this, he was comparing Modere closing to the death of a loved one or somebody being diagnosed with cancer or any of those other weird comparisons that are absolutely not like an MLM closing. This is wild.
You react.
This is even more wild watching it the second time around. Members, let me know what you think.
To it. And I just happen to react quickly. Why? Why did I react quickly with Modere? Not that I owe anybody an explanation, but let me be very clear. Because any haters that want to come on and tell me I knew this would happen and they want to hate and they want to be mad at me personally.
I wore the perfect shirt. David. Facts are not attacks. Okay. Also, is it hate or is it accountability? Two very different things that these people in MLM have a very difficult time understanding the difference between the two.
For a freaking billionaire that had a bad day and didn't want to write $50 million in payroll checks and screw people over and shut down a global company that was in momentum, that we were freaking doing 400,000 in sales in 4 days, that we were having our biggest recruiting months of the year, that we were a global force, that we were having the biggest momentum on earth, that I had brought in 4 or 5 new elite teams, and I was in the trenches, blood, sweat, and tears, night and day to support them, and they want to be mad at me? No, direct your anger toward a rich billionaire and tariffs and politics and freaking the fact that, you know, if you get some bottles from China and now it's 125% more, then you don't have the cash flow and you don't even have the time to like source it all. And you're in 37 countries trying to launch 2 other countries. And now the tariffs change every week and you're a billionaire that just lost $4 trillion in the stock market. Okay. Like none of that's all stuff. That's like the weather. You can't control that stuff.
But you can control that stuff. You know how you can control that stuff? By getting out and voting. You can. Yeah. Oh my God. That was quite the rant. He was kung fu fighting, I'm telling you. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah, that was wild. I had to pause this so that he could catch his breath for a second. Because when this tariff stuff started to happen, I wondered how this was going to impact MLMs. And I think we're starting to see it. I think, you know, go out and vote. Know what I'm saying? Get active. Oh my God. I think he wants you to think he's wearing a Rolex, but one of the smart members, so these you guys are so freaking intelligent. It's unreal. Found it. It was like a $250 watch. But the way that he keeps flexing it is like, it's really odd. Also, since we're sitting here just chatting for a second, paparazzi raised their prices from $5 to $8. Yeah. Hey, Jen, what's up? We do need breaks in the rant because it's so much. Marie is the one that found it. Oh, man, this is really cool. Oh, I pinned the wrong thing. I'll come back to you, Charlene. We had 12,000 people at the AOC and Bernie event the other day here in Idaho. That's amazing. I love that. Paparazzi raised their prices from $5 to $8, and Young Living is raising prices all because of tariffs. Shout out to MLM Exit. Thank you for sharing that, Charlene, and MLM Exit. Appreciate that. Oh, man. That was quite the rant. Now, if I remember correctly, right before Modere closed, weren't they doing a lot of like BOGO sales, like trying to, in my opinion, liquidate their inventory? So people were buying it up because it was BOGO. Remember the picture of Tony Zalecki? I think I have it. Hold on. Let me see if I have this. I'm pretty sure I do. Let's see. I think that was a thumb. Yeah, I do. Look. All the BioCell on sale. Tried to liquidate product. And then Modere filed Chapter 7, bankruptcy. Whoopsies. Oh, God.
Anybody trying to tell you that like, oh, like you knew this was going to happen? Obviously, when the top leader of Modere left a year and a half ago, said we were going to be out of business in 3 months. No, we did very well. Why didn't we leave back then, all you haters? Why didn't we leave back then? Because we're freaking in love with Modere. I wash my hair with Modere. I wash my clothes with Modere. I put Modere on my skin every day. I drink Modere. Okay? We're in love with the brand. We have a passion for the brand. We always have. And so why didn't I leave? Because the checks were clearing. The product was shipping. There were no red flags. They turned the ship around. Nate Frazier was an incredible CEO. I met with him for 2 hours at the corporate office in Newport Beach.
That was a lot. At first, I thought maybe that part was a parody, but it's not. He said it with his whole chest. Maybe don't replace every product in your house with an MLM product. I mean, I don't think you should have any MLM products in your house, especially if we're talking supplements for obvious reasons. You know? Wow. Checks were clearing. So were you worried about checks clearing? Because that's an odd way to say, hey, I was still making money. We still appear to be profitable, because that makes me think, well, were you aware that revenue was dropping? I'm pretty sure you were aware that top leaders had been leaving. Some of them quietly, some of them not so quiet. I'm pretty sure he knew that. Guys, I think David might be upset. Mom, pick me up. I'm scared. Modere was all kinds of stuff. It was like Melaleuca, which, by the way, in my opinion, is a multi-level marketing company. Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. They had supplements, house cleaning products, laundry soap, skincare. It was kind of like Melaleuca, unfortunately.
And so why why did I leave so quickly? Because when the top leader left, we righted the ship. And then the next thing that happened late in 24,
So when Justin Prince left, you guys turned around the drop in revenue. Are you sure about that? Because that's not what it showed when I did some research. What was the direct sales stats and figures or something? Hold on. Let me get the exact source for you, because that's important. Okay. Yes, according to direct selling facts, figures, and news. Where are the numbers? Here it is. In 2022, Modere's revenue stood at $220 million, marking a significant decrease from the previous year. A 40% decrease from 2021. 2023 dropped another 9%. 2023 was the year that Justin Prince was terminated. 2024, they dropped again from 200 million in 2023 to 195 million. So that doesn't suggest that you righted the ship according to direct selling facts, figures, and news. That shows that what you're saying is not factual. And just in case you need the reminder, David, facts are not attacks. They're just facts. And you didn't right the ship. You want people to think that you righted the ship. But revenue was down. Because if you had righted the ship, Modere wouldn't have closed on April 11th. But you knew that was coming, I feel like. This is just my opinion. This part I'm not stating as a fact. But for you to move as quickly as you did, having the relationship that you did with Osma, I think you did have a plan B. I think John Melton and them had a plan B. I think all of them did, because they were watching checks drop. Now, let me be very clear. I don't think they knew it was happening on April 11th, but you can't tell me for 1 minute that these people didn't know it was coming, watching checks drop and top leaders leave. I don't buy it for a second.
last year, 9 months ago, in fact, our CEO left, Osma left. And that was a blow for me. I couldn't understand it. I was sad again. Did I leave at that time? No. Did I take a look at what she was doing? Yeah, she's like a sister to me. Of course I took a look. I studied it. I did even more than study it.
Okay.
I went out and took a look.
You did more than study it. Does that involve making it a plan B? If things go south with Modere, I can always come over to Amare. I'm besties with the CEO, or he wants people to think that he is. Interesting. I almost feel like that's a bit of a confession.
I went out and took a look. And I was blown away. I was blown away. But it wasn't the right time. Why? Why wasn't the right time?
Because you were still getting a check at Modere. Not hard to figure out.
Because why would I leave Modere when the checks are clearing and the bile cells flowing and my kids are using 5 of our products every day and my wife lives and swears by Modere? That's why we didn't leave.
Your wife, did she have an account at Modere? And also, why is her social media so locked down? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering. Is her last name Higdon? Is there a connection there? I'm not really sure, but I would love to find out.
Our checks were good. Our team was happy. I got together with our team when Osma left. We had a therapy session. We said, Osma, we're going to honor the legacy of Liquid BioCell. And that's what we did.
You had therapy for that?
And then we had our biggest November, our 4th biggest day in the history of our team and company, I believe, in November. This is 4 months ago, 5 months ago. The 4th biggest.
If you're in a decline and you have a good sales day, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to make up for the decline. Okay.
Sales day in history. Month, November of 2024. December, always the was flat because people stock up in November. And then January, kind of slow. And then boom, February picked up. March picked up. We were all waiting on a really awesome check for the growth we had in March. I can't believe I'm even sitting here doing this live. I can't even believe I'm here in Provo. I was just here last Tuesday shaking the hands with the CEO. Everybody's in shock. Corporate's in shock. Nobody knows what really happened, but I just told you pretty much what happened. Billionaire had a bad day. Combine it with, people want to say, oh, see, I told you so. They want to gloat. They want to make posts and be opportunistic and all of it. Business is business. I think the billionaire guy just literally said, you know what? All the tariffs, screw it. All the payroll, screw it. All the headaches. I'm not writing another $20 million check to invest because they've invested for 10 years. And
since 2021, they've been declining. So if you're looking at this as a business transaction, if you're losing money on it, it makes sense to close it. But that doesn't fit his narrative. He wants to blame the person that was behind Z Capital. I'm not saying Z Capital did everything correctly. However, at the end of the day, an MLM closed, and I'm happy about that. We love that here. Let's get some fireworks. Yes, we love that. I feel like I haven't done that in a long time, but it makes me smile, and I hope it makes y'all smile too.
Made them a lot of money, but probably all that money that they pulled out, the 180 million, I'm just speculating, whatever they pulled out, they probably just never made it back, right? They never, and then they kept having to sink money into it. None of us knew, guys. I mean, we had just hired a chief revenue officer. The CFO didn't even know, guys. So just anybody.
The CFO didn't know? Did the CFO have access to the same numbers that Justin Prince had access to in 2023, allegedly, according to the lawsuit? I'm not defending Justin Prince. Not at all. But I just want to know. Did the CFO have the same access to the numbers? Because I bet the CFO did. I bet the bar graph they had access to. The reports they probably had access to.
I would clear the air. Just anybody that thinks we had even a clue or had to disclose anything. What happened with Modere was a total shock. We were on the turnaround. I was talking to some of the other leaders. We were in momentum 3.0. April.
Really? Is that why you guys were trying to, or let me back up. Is that why allegedly you put out some white label products like the magnesium and run-of-the-mill things? Is there more I could say about that? Yes, but I don't know if I can say it. So we're just going to click play.
Was like our biggest month we had in probably 2 years, over 2 years, apart from Novembers. Novembers are always amazing at Modere. So guys, I just want to be very clear that
Novembers are always good at Modere. Won't be good this November. I said what I said.
We didn't know this was coming. Just no more than you would know that an earthquake is coming. And if you don't believe that, look me in my eyes right now. And if you want to chat on this or post a dumb comment or be a hater or you should have seen the signs.
You should have.
You know nothing.
I know a lot. I have the numbers in front of me. I was a part of Modere. The calls coming from inside the house, David. I get it. You're having some feelings. Maybe the live is not the place for that. Maybe talking to a therapist, talking to your wife, talking to a friend, maybe picking up the phone and talking to Osma. I don't know what to tell you. But you trying to say, oh, well, if you think we didn't see this, or no, how did he word that? If people think that he was ignoring the red flags, oh, they're just a hater. No, you were ignoring the red flags. Let's see your check from a year ago. Let's see your check from 2 years ago. Let's compare. Let's look at the data. Oh, wait, you can't because Modere closed. Okay.
Were there signs? Yeah, obviously. The top leader left. Did we right the ship? Yes. Did we have faith? Yes. Or we wouldn't have moved forward. I wouldn't have brought people in and invest their time and money and network into something that I thought was going to fail. Anyway, I don't owe anybody an explanation, but here's what we did.
You don't owe anybody an explanation, but here you are for 42 minutes giving people an explanation, saying liquid biocell over 30 times, and I think DC removed like 4 minutes of filler words. Yikes, my guy. Yikes.
We got on a Zoom. We got, a ton of people on, and I booked a flight that night. I booked a flight, and I went live and I said, I'm loud and proud. Apparently I ruffled a lot of feathers because people thought, oh, he must.
Apparently your feathers were ruffled as well because people were upset that you moved so quickly. I guess. Freaking weird. Not all Davids. DC really is a boss. It was so nice of her.
To known this was coming. Everybody has opinions. All the other top leaders were probably freaking out. We're texting people saying, why is Dave Ciemny doing this? They're all based out of fear. I'm going to steal their team. I'm not here to steal anybody's team. You know what I'm here to do? Protect freaking people's livelihoods, guys.
No, you're here to recruit. Just call it what it is. That's why you mentioned your link like 4 different times. That's why you put your link in that announcement post. You're desperate to recruit and you're trying to make it seem like you're this, good human just trying to help other people. No, you're trying to replace that $40,000 check that you were, very clearly upset about losing. How much of that check was based off of having a team and team volume, and how much of that was from selling products? I'm just curious. And I just find it interesting that if he was allegedly placed at the top of a, dare I say, legacy team, a team that had been around for decades, if that's true, why was your check only $40K? The math is not mathing. I don't know. Interesting.
Guys, I'm here to protect BioCell. When I found out that we're taking BioCell to our new company, Amare, amare.com/20.
I'm going to mute him for a second. Okay. I think he was saying his link there.
If I knew for 1 second that this was going to happen, this is my worst nightmare, just to be very clear. And how people react to tragedy, to trauma, to trials is a lot about their character. When people freak out, make passive aggressive posts, when people blame, shame, justify, just shows their character.
When people do a 42-minute live trying to act like they're not talking garbage about people because you think that you're not, because you're not saying their name, but you're doing the same exact thing you're accusing other people of. Cool. Got it.
I get it. Everybody's emotional, and I'm not hating on anybody, but I'm going to tell you right now, I had a plan. Our team got together.
Exactly. You had a plan. Thank you for admitting that. We know that. We know you had a plan because you admitted that you had looked at the comp plan over at Amari. You admitted that you looked at everything. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but he looked at everything and said it wasn't the right time. Well, Modere closed. Guess what? Timing's perfect. Let's go. That is having a backup plan. You might have been shocked that it happened, Modere closing on April 11th, but you had a backup plan, and that's what people are upset about. This isn't that hard, David.
And when we found out that BioCell was going to Osma and the company's Amare Global, we didn't even need to take any more time to make a decision. Right. Well, what about the comp plan? And what about this? What about...
He had already looked at that. He already looked at all of that. It just wasn't the right time. I love when they contradict themselves. I think that's contradiction number 4 here. I lost count, to be honest.
Hey. Most comp plans, and I've looked at Amari, most comp plans are pretty decent. There's some that are bad. You can bash whatever comp plan you want, but if you have a product like BioCell, we're all making good money. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
What?
And so...
What? A product does not change the numbers on the comp plan, David. All right.
I didn't need to do a deep dive because I've already looked at it. Have I looked at other companies? Sure. Have I had my inbox blow up? You should see the hundreds of messages, random spammy messages, everything. A leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way, according to John Maxwell.
Ugh.
And I knew I couldn't.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm your friend. No, you are not. No, you are not. And you give me the creeps, John Maxwell.
Waste any time getting started and skipping a beat. Do you know that we just had a payday today? So let me put this into perspective here at Amari. Put this into perspective. Friday at 1:15, I get a call. I'm on the phone with Osma. I get the information I need. I fly to corporate all night. I had to do a red eye from Ontario to Denver, change planes, come to Salt Lake. My good friend Patty and Vince picked me up. I was in corporate on Saturday all day long. The very next day in corporate, putting all the new people into our business. I had a code within 45 minutes in the new company. I pivoted for the team. And
right, because the team is going to get that check that you're getting, right? Did you get any special deals going over to Amare? Because flying into corporate is highly unusual. You could just easily sign up on a website. You get your link, you share that, but you took it to corporate. I just wonder, because I know how that works. I just wonder what kind of special deal you got, if anything. I wonder.
Here we are. I worked all day yesterday, putting people in. And Monday morning, this morning, payday drops. So all those people that we put in, that put people in and are getting their customers onboarded for liquid buy sell, they got paid Monday. So we lose our checks on a Friday and our team is getting paid on a Monday. You going to criticize that? You're going to call that good leadership?
No.
I'll pat myself on the back for that.
Ew,
because we had
David.
a plan. So guys, here's what's happening with liquid buy sell. Liquid buy sell and trim are coming to Amari. Amari, AMARE.com. It means
what? What do you mean? What's happening?
Love, by the way. I'm not going to go into our product lines. It's a wellness company. There's a kids line I'm really excited about.
Ew.
There's a hair line that my wife freaked out about that she used to get at Sephora. It's now cheaper with us. It's called The Rootist. There's an incredible amount of like products from probiotics, hormones help to mental wellness, all the different categories, energy, weight loss. There's a burn product. There's a fit product.
A burn product. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm going to put up a poll because I've been having some fun doing that. So hang on one second. Let me add that he's okay. Hold on, you guys will see in just a second. All right, just for funsies, 3 different options. Is David okay? I'm concerned. He is not well. Oh, he's okay.
Look, we got some really high caliber products. I went to the office. I know half of their corporate team is over there, including Osma, of course. We're good. We had an answer. God answered our prayers.
Did God answer your prayers or did Osma pick up the phone? Because I don't think those are the same thing. Also, God told me the other day that he does not like multi-level marketing companies. The taking advantage of people's time, energy, and money in order to pad your wallet. He doesn't like that. He told me. Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even have to pray. I instinctively felt inspired to do what I did.
Oh, okay.
And I took action.
Is that because you had a plan B? That's what it sounds like.
For better or for worse. The vultures came in. The haters came in. The friends I thought were friends came in and blocked me. They talked crap. They tried to say that, oh, you can get buy sell somewhere else. Nah.
You can get it in capsule form without all the extra things for $29 on Amazon, and it's Osma's brother that is selling it there. So $29 compared to buying an MLM product. If that's something that you're looking for and you want a chicken cartilage collagen product, go for it, I suppose.
Not the liquid buy sell. It will never, a great product will never go away. And it's an iconic brand, Liquid BioCell. It's iconic like a Starbucks or a Chick-fil-A or
Liquid BioCell is not as iconic as Starbucks or Chick-fil-A. Not even close. I know, David, you want people to think this. But I don't think those are on the same wavelength when it comes to brand recognition. I think you want it to be, but I think you are wrong.
A beautiful, it's a brand that will be here for the rest of our lives. And I'm glad we get to carry on the legacy at Amari, guys.
Legacy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So if you want information on what we're doing, we've put in, I think over 300 people. We're working on about 500 people. All of our people are already getting paid because they pay in like weekly cycles, which is good because it allows you like some time to like adjust, and then you get a pretty decent amount chunked in instead of these little daily drips. Daily pay is great too. Weekly pay, daily pay. It is what it is. And then a monthly pay. But ultimately, guys, we're taking buy, sell, and trim. Absolutely. And the biggest question is when. I think the first thing that the company's going to do, guys, is we're going to try to get in.
You're a distributor in Amari. Why are you giving these updates that should come from somebody that works in the C-suite at Amari? That's weird. That feels like it's above your pay grade. That's odd to me.
To the Modere stock and the inventory and purchase that if we can. If we can't, and it's in chapter 7, Modere is screwed. It's done. They're going to have to sell off the assets. There's going to be a class action lawsuit, which I'm already part of. We're going to try to do our best to get paid. That might take years, guys. I don't even know if I'll get what I'm owed or whatever.
Is the class action lawsuit on Modere's OVA product? Because in my opinion, it should be. Do I know more about that than I can say? Absolutely.
But you never think something's going to happen like this, like life insurance. You never think, you're going to die at some point. Did I think Modere was going to live forever?
Do you think that an MLM is similar to life insurance? Sir, you are delusional. The self-importance is off the charts here. My God. Freaking weird. Your favorite sociopath? Member for 20 months. Thank you so much. One more month until my membership is old enough to drink. I love that. But don't drink liquid biocell, in my opinion.
Did I think? I didn't know. I was hoping that they would. That's the difference. Nobody knows this is going to happen. And so they're going to try to get the stock from Modere. If they can't, which that's a long shot. I hope it happens. I hope we have a miracle. And next week it's like, let's go. Let's sell it. But for now, I think it's going to be about 2.
I don't think that's how Chapter 7 bankruptcies work. Not that I'm an expert in that department. If you guys have more information, feel free to drop it in the comments. But I would think that would take some time to go through all the assets and liquidate what they can. There's probably a process for that. So I don't think that Amare getting liquid biocell in the next week, I don't think that that's likely, in my opinion. I think that's about as likely as John Melton having products and running commissions on a new MLM company that started in 48 hours in the next month. Oh, but that wasn't planned. Okay. All right.
2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months is the time frame that we're looking at. It could be longer. It could be shorter. I don't know. I'm not on the ops side. My job right now is,
which is why you shouldn't even be talking about this. This is outside of your scope. This is not what you're supposed to be doing as a distributor in the company. It's weird.
One thing only. I'm committed to helping the team get set up with their customers and get their VIP lists and get their first to know lists and get them in the system for when biocell's available. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There are going to be, I want to say millions. I'll say millions of customers around the world. Millions. I will say that because we had 4 million customers. We did 6 billion in sales, 3 billion in commissions. So I will say this. There will be millions of customers around the world. And by the way,
and your check was only 40K? The math is not mathing. The lack of you showing up on the leaderboards, plural, doesn't make any sense to me.
Amari's in 50 countries. We're good. There will be millions of customers around the world that are going to be wanting biocell when it hits live in about 2 to 3 months. People are going to make a...
Didn't he just say it'd be there next week? And now it's 2 to 3 months. The contradiction, I lost count. I have no idea. The contradictions from him in this 42-minute video of his is wild to me.
Literal killing. That the people that say yes, that come in, that set up their customer accounts, that go through and don't freak out. They don't have panic-based reactions. They don't try to go, whatever. More power to everybody that leaves. I am totally okay if all the leaders from Modere go band together and go do their own thing.
I don't think that they need you to be okay with that. Quite frankly, they probably don't care at all.
I'm going to say this truthfully, and I would say this to any one of them who I consider close friends. More power to you, but I'm actually glad that I don't have to compete with you. because nothing competes with liquid biocell. Nothing.
Oh.
And all these people that walked away from millions of customers, all those customers are going to join. All those customers are going to order liquid biocell. They
Doubt
are
it.
all going to order liquid biocell. So I'm not mad at
From Amazon and save themselves lots of money. Because that would be a smart thing to do if you're looking for a product like that.
at people starting a new company, going off to some, big legacy company where they have to pay people that have been there for 40 years at the top. They don't have the money for new people. They just don't have enough money for new people. If you're having to pay people from 40 years ago, bro, 30 years ago that have retired or passed away, or you're paying like some weird random inheritance account, those legacy companies, I'm sorry, I worked at Herbalife. They don't have the money for new people. They may think they do, but they don't. But guys, nobody called me about it. Those people didn't call me and get my opinion.
I think he's butthurt he wasn't included in that. Wait. What if the whole reason that he moved as quickly as he did is, this is a theory, I'm not stating this as a fact. What if the whole reason that he moved as quickly as he did is because he caught wind of John Melton and all of them starting their own MLM, because perhaps that was a plan B. And he's like, why didn't they call me about it? Because that's what he just said. They didn't call me to ask me what I thought about it. And maybe that's why he moved so quickly and posted as bold as he did to put his link in the post, which doesn't normally happen. Usually they want you to message them. Oh my God, what if he's mad that they didn't invite him?
So I wish them the best. I will pray for them. I truly will. I pray for everybody at Modere that's impacted, including corporate. In fact, I think we're going to be bringing some people from Modere onto Amari corporate.
Who's we? You're a distributor in Amare. You are not part of the C-suite. What are you talking about? This dude's ego is unreal. We're going to be, are you going to interview them? No, because you're not part of the C-suite. You're a distributor. This is so weird.
But here's what I know. I've been around a minute, and I know in 2 to 3 months when liquid biocell and trim and smooth drops, we're going to the stratosphere. And all these people that walked away from all these customer pods, they're going to try to get them in to some inferior collagen or whatever. And homie, don't play that.
Oh, don't worry. They probably already have positions at companies like Amare and Shackley, allegedly. Zaleki's, I'm talking to you, allegedly. Not stating that as a fact. Got to hold those positions, right? Allegedly, in my opinion. Okay.
There's no substitute. And so these people are all going to want Amari collagen, liquid biocell, and we followed Osma. So guys, I appreciate you being here. I hope this kind of cleared the air. I've never been so excited about my career. I definitely had a little bit of...
Yeah, you seem real excited. Oh God, this is an unfortunate pause story. This is real bad.
To the no.
This is...
Wrong.
This is real bad.
You're wrong.
Oh, that's unfortunate. If you have a pause story that you would like to share, keep it clean for the kids,
fear until I started putting people in, and I realized that most of us, we all stayed together. I don't know that a couple of the new people left because, they...
So you didn't all stay together.
They got burned, of course. Like, that's a natural reaction. But
Okay.
people that know me and my character will never guess my character.
If you're in an MLM, that tells me everything that I know. I need to know, especially when you're somebody with his history. That tells me everything that I need to know, in my opinion. If you're continuing to join MLMs and recruit people and act like you are doing it because you're trying to help people, tells me everything that I need to know.
Never, ever, ever guess my character. All right? The
Guess it?
biocell... Okay, let me answer the last question because you just brought up a point. Let me just explain. Modere had the exclusive license to Liquid BioCell. Liquid BioCell is owned by BioCell Technologies. It's a separate company.
Correct.
Okay, affiliated with Osma. Okay, and
Correct.
so what I'll tell you is that Modere had an exclusive license with BioCell Technologies for Liquid BioCell.
Right.
And they no longer have that license because they're no longer illegal. They're no longer in business.
Correct.
That license is null and void as of Friday. Okay.
Okay, now tell them how they can get it on Amazon for $29 through BioCell Technologies. Tell them that part. Oh, you don't want to tell them that part because that would cut into you potentially making income if Amari were to get Liquid BioCell. Got it.
So guess what? Amari has it now. And
But they
it's
don't.
coming. And that's it.
Do they have it now or is it coming? So those are two different things. What is that? Contradiction number 7? I don't even know.
So this is our third home for Liquid BioCell. 3's a charm. We're not going to cry. We're not going to mourn. We're not going to hate.
Just
We're
gonna
not
recruit.
going to pontificate and hem and haw and not make a decision. We went loud and proud. I was the first leader in Modere that came out and made a decision to take my team. And it ruffled feathers. It ruffled a lot of feathers. They couldn't handle the fact that how did David know where he was going? It was really simple. I follow Osma. I'm loyal. I'm product loyal. Product loyal. All these MLM people, I don't think they're product loyal. If they were product loyal, they would say, hey, go to Amare, follow the product because they know that's the bread and butter.
Oh, because they would join you, right? If they were loyal to the product, they would join you. But here's the thing. The money that these top distributors and these MLM companies, they don't make it off of selling the product. They make it off of recruiting and having a team. David knows that. David, you know that. Come on.
Compensation
Ew, David.
plans, it pays 38%. It pays more than Modere. It's just a different, the money's shifted around. The money is paid in different areas. It's the same money. The Modere comp plan and the Amari comp plan, very similar. And you just got to learn how to work it. Anybody that tells you different, I had some issues with it. When I went back and looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's bigger on the front end for new people. It's bigger on the back end. It's a little shorter in the middle. So it's like, you got to get through that middle section a little faster. That's the difference. Okay, big whoop. As long as
That the majority of people are never going to do. How do we know that? Because of the Amari income disclosure statement. You just have to get through the middle faster. You just have to, go against the entire math of the compensation plan. You just have to be the exception. Dare I say, be the one, right, Justin Prince? Gross.
you know going in how you work a comp plan and you know that you have a product that sells,
She is.
you don't need to second guess it. So I truly am shocked that the entire Modere leadership that preached Liquid BioCell for years would just abandon and walk away from Liquid BioCell. I'm shocked. I'm just telling you, I'm keeping it 100, keeping it real. I'm shocked, but I will tell you, it's a new day. I've never been more excited. If you want to come and join our team, we got you. Yeah, I don't know, Deb, who you're talking about. Modere claimed that the tariffs like screwed everybody. I don't think it was just the tariffs, guys.
I guarantee you, this is my opinion. I feel like, and I said this to the members yesterday when we were watching this, I feel like there's a pipeline of people that are top distributors in multi-level marketing companies that voted for Trump and are now complaining about the tariffs. Be so for real right now. I can't.
I think it was tariffs. I think it was they had made mega investments. I think it was a cash flow thing. Modere paid good commissions, so they never cut our commissions. I think it was there were some lawsuits, obviously, which I know for a fact that we were coming out on top of. But
which lawsuits are you referring to? I would love to know. And how do you know that you were coming out on top of these lawsuits? Were you involved in with the legal team at Modere? No. So that's your opinion then. Is that your opinion, David? Which is fine. Man.
You know, those still cost time and money.
That
There were
part.
new hires, new investments, new products, strategies. I think it was just cash flow. We did a whole bunch of promos,
True.
right? And so there was money coming in, but it wasn't the kind of money that offset the balance sheets. I don't know. Look, we're not accountants. We're not going to ever really know probably the true story. But I think it was what I said in the beginning. I think a billionaire had a bad day. I think a billionaire.
I don't think he had a bad day. I think Modere had a bad few years. And they were like, listen, I'm tired of investing in this and we're not making any money. We tried to put out all these white label products that were mediocre at best, that were, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I can't say that. Just know there's always more that I know, but I'm not sure if I can say that. So I'm pretty sure I can't. Soon.
Didn't want to write a $20-30 million check. And at the end of the day, that's no more different than an act of God, literally. So we rode with the storm, we recorrected. And guys, we are going to come out of this ahead and on time and prime, and we're already putting people in. People have already gotten paid in the new company. So we are rocking, guys.
Are people getting paid in the new company off of recruiting? And the new distributors that are joining Amari buying product packs? Because I bet they are. I bet that's exactly what that is. Wild. Also, we have a new member. Welcome, Cat Mama. Thank you so much for joining. This is for you.
We're crushing. If you want to be part of what we're doing, talk to anybody that was with Modere that's on our team. Get their code. If you want to work with me personally, I can place you anywhere in the organization you want to work with. Sign up with me. If you want to set up a free customer account, you just go to, I'll put it in the comments, and just click log in, and then you set up a customer account. If you want to work with us, I will put you anywhere in the organization.
You already said that, my guy. The desperation is stanky. Oh,
anybody that's been with us that's on our team. I think a lot of people understand that having a good team in this business, having a leader that's going to drop everything.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to figure out how I can ask this question. Okay, if we know, allegedly, I shouldn't say if we know. If he allegedly was put at the top of a legacy team that was a part of Modere and had been for decades, you guys know who I'm allegedly talking about, right? And those same people are starting a new MLM over here. And he seems upset that maybe he wasn't included in that if he was a part of that team, or at least the very top of it, allegedly. This kind of makes sense, right? His reaction, his vibe, how he put out his Amari link pretty quickly. That would make sense to me. Do I know that to be true? No. It's alleged, but it would make sense to be. Okay.
And work 24/7 to make sure that your livelihood is protected. I think that goes a long way. I think having a leader that has given over 1,000 presentations on BioCell is going to go a long way. A leader that's worked with all the top doctors, all the practitioners, a leader that's been in this industry for 20 plus years, a leader that will literally go to bat for you in the trenches. I think I don't need to speak for myself that we have a really good team. Most importantly, our relationships. We're loyal. We're loyal to the product. We're loyal to Osma. And you never have to question that loyalty. You will never have to question that. And anybody that does just doesn't know. Bless their hearts, as they say. And
Brother,
Absolutely not.
Hard pass.
No.
in Tennessee, in the South, bless their hearts. They just don't know. But those that know, they're here. They're all still here. Everybody's here. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to support everybody, and let's rock and roll with our new journey. 2 to 3 months, the world is going to literally light a fire with Liquid BioCell. And in the next 2 to 3 months, we're all going to get jacked up on all the happy juice and the awesome like Amare products, because they're top notch. They're made in the USA. They're sourced in the USA. I've been to the plant. It's incredible. Okay. So guys, love you. Appreciate you. Can't wait for this journey. It's already happening. I'll be at corporate all week, and we're going to have a great time. Now, if you're getting this tonight on a Monday and you want to be a guest on our private team Zoom with Osma tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, send me a direct message. I'll get you the link. I'm not going to put it out here for public, but send me a direct message if you want to be a guest tonight on our private team Zoom and jump in with us. Send me the link. I'll get you on. It'll be great. And I heard we're going to have a special guest on tonight as well.
You just said it was Osma. What do you mean? If anybody has that link, feel free to send it my way. I would love to react to that.
So guys, thank you so much. Take care. I can't wait to work with all of you guys, especially to our team. Thanks for having faith. We know this will be good. We got this, and I look forward to it. We'll see you guys soon. All right.
Okay, goodbye. That was a lot. Let's see my poll. Oh God, 65% said that he is not well. 30% said I'm concerned, and 5% said he's okay. All right, well, that's good. That's good. This was a wild ride, as always. I feel like this live stream was nothing but a playbook and how MLM leaders spin a company collapsing into an opportunity. Dave contradicted himself 7, 8 times, something like that. Recruits before the dust even settles with Modere closing, and posted his new link within minutes of Modere's announcement. Then tries to frame it. Tried to frame it as divine timing. If that's not premeditated, planned out, a plan B, however you want to call it, I don't know what is. This wasn't a eulogy. It was an onboarding funnel. And if you're in MLM and you're thinking your upline has your best interest at heart, remember that when the ship sank, they were already boarding their next one with you as the cargo. You deserve better. Ask yourself, hey, is this really worth it? Do a profit and loss statement. And most importantly, ask that upline if they got any kind of a special deal. Did they get a bridge contract? Did they get a sales performance contract? Did they get special bonuses? Ask them those questions and watch how they react. Watch how they label you as a troublemaker. And at the end of the day, joining the next multi-level marketing company is not going to get you where you think that you want to be. It's going to end up in financial ruin, relationships that you thought were going to be forever. Listen to what Dave said about these people. I thought they were my friends, but they didn't know he was making this next move. They were upset about it. That's transactional relationships. You deserve better than that. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching all the way through. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you would, drop me some heart hands after this post. Shout out to the replay crew. Thank you for being here. And I will see you guys on the next video, which, by the way, is Friday, and it's a Justin Prince video. So that'll be up for members on Thursday, and I'll see you on the next video. And DC, thank you again for the intro and the editing for me that you did. It made a huge difference. Go subscribe to her channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, everybody.